Okay, so let's do some more SAT quadratic equation questions. So we have number one. So y is equal to x squared plus 4. And which of the following transformation is applied to the parent function y is equal to x squared to obtain this equation? So basically we have y is equal to x squared. And what do we have to do to get from x squared to x squared plus 4? What transformations apply? So, well, a vertical translation of 4 units upward mean that you'll have to add 4 to this equation. So for option 1, you would have y is equal to x squared plus 4. Adding a constant just moves the curve up or down by that constant. So that's that. The second option is a horizontal translation by 4 units to the left. So the way you would do that is you would do x plus 4 and then that would be squared. You would have y is equal to x plus 4 squared. This would move the curve to the left by 4 units and then you're keeping the same curve because you're squaring it. So that's that. Third one says vertical translation 4 units downward. Well, that would just be y is equal to x squared minus 4, right? Because we just said that a vertical translation is just adding a constant or subtracting a constant. And this is going downwards, so it would be negative 4. And then a horizontal translation 4 units to the right, well, it would be similar to number 2, but instead of a plus 4, it would be a minus 4. So it would be x minus 4 squared. And the only option that matches x squared plus 4 from these options right here is option number 1, vertical translation 4 units upward. So we're going to click that as our final answer, and it's correct. Let's go to the next question. So we have y is equal to 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. What are the x values for which y is equal to 0? So all that means is that, let's say we had 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. So how do you solve this equation? Well, let's factorize, right? So 2x has to be there somewhere. And then to get a 2x squared, you would have to multiply with an x. Okay. And now, how do we get to a plus 3? So I'm thinking, what if I did a plus 3 here and a plus 1 here? Well, if you expand this bracket out, you should get 2x squared plus 3x. So I get 2x squared multiplying these two. I get 3x multiplying these two. Then I get a plus 3 multiplying these two. So I get plus 3. And then I'd get a plus 2x multiplying those two. So I'd end up getting 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, which is what we needed. So that means our factors are correct. So that means that either 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. Well, in both cases, we just need to rearrange very simply using very simple algebra. And over here, we'll get 2x is equal to negative 3. And over here, we will get x is equal to negative 1. So we have one of our answers. And for this, 2x is equal to negative 3, all we do is we divide by 2 on both sides. So I end up getting x is equal to negative 3 over 2. So our answer should be negative 3 over 2 and negative 1. And is that any of the options? That's the first option right there. So let's see if that's correct. And that's correct. Let's go to the next question. So I have y is equal to 3 to the power 2x minus 1. What is the value of x when y is equal to 27? So we're saying that 27 is equal to 3 to the power of 2x minus 1. Well, how would we do this? Well, we know that 27 is equal to 3 to the power of 3, right? Because 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 9 times 3, which is equal to 27. So now I have 3 to the power 3 is equal to 3 to the power 2x minus 1. And we could use logarithms to simplify this, but I'll just tell you right now that if the base is the same, then we can just get rid of it completely. And we're left with 3 is equal to 2x minus 1. We just have the indices equal to each other. So if 3 is equal to 2x minus 1, what do we do? Well, we simply rearrange. So we bring the minus 1 to the other side. So we get 3 plus 1 is equal to 2x, which means 4 is equal to 2x. We just divide by 2 on both sides, so we get x is equal to 2. And let's see if that's the correct answer. And that is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. If the quadratic function f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 5x plus 3, what is the vertex of the parabola represented by this function? Okay, how do we do something like this? Well, to do this, we can find stationary points. So we can use something called differentiation. So to find the derivative, you would do f prime of x, right? And we can just use the power rule. So we bring the 2 and multiply it by the coefficient there. So we would have 4 times x to the power 2 minus 1, which is 1. So I have 4x. And then derivative of minus 5x is just minus 5. And the derivative of plus 3 is just 0. So I have 4x minus 5. And this has to be a stationary point, right? Because it's a vertex. That means it's going to be a stationary point. So I have 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Well, that means that 4x is equal to 5. And x is equal to 5 over 4. Okay, that's interesting. So now we have the x coordinate is going to be 5 over 4. So it's either option 1, 2, or 4. How do we find the y coordinate? Well, we just put 5 over 4 back into the equation. So we get f of x is equal to 2 times 5 over 4 squared minus 5 times 5 over 4 plus 3. So what do we get? We get 2 times this squared is 25 over 16 plus, oh, it's negative. So 22 times 25 over 16 minus 25 over 4 plus 3. Well, what's that? So we get 2 times 25 over 16 is 50 over 16. So 50 over 16 minus 25 over 4 is the same as 100 over 16. If I multiply the numerator and denominator by 4, I would get 25 times 4 over 4 times 4. So I have 50 over 16 minus 100 over 16 plus, well, the 3 is the same as 48 over 16. If I multiply the numerator and denominator by 16, I have 3 over 1 times 16 over 16. So I have 48 over 16. Well, the reason I did that is now we have the same denominator. So we can just do 50 plus 48 minus 100. So we end up getting negative 2 over 16, which is equal to negative 1 over 8. So our answer should be 5 over 4 and negative 1 over 8. So let's check. And that is the correct answer. So let's go to the last question. So we have y is equal to 2 to the power 3x plus 1. What is the value of y when x is equal to 2? Well, that's very simple, right? So y is equal to 2 to the power of, and then 3x plus 1. Well, we're given the value of x. This is going to be 2, so we just put that into the equation. So we get y is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times the x, which is 2, plus 1. So we get y is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. We get 2 to the power of 7. Well, what's that equal to? So we have 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. So this is to the power 1, power 2, power 3, power 4, power 5, power 6, power 7. So that means that our answer should be 128. Let's see if that's correct. And that is the correct question. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video and hopefully it made sense to you, and let me know what else you want to see in future videos.